Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Summit podcast series. We're currently on episode 4, and here with me today is Bobby Small and Monica Hoyer. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, everybody.
Monica, you're our guest star today. Would you like to kick us off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I am Monica Hoyer. I'm the marketing director at Influence. We are a marketing automation platform that seamlessly integrates with Microsoft Dynamics. We're based out of Kansas City, but I live in Durham, North Carolina. And so we're partners with a lot of companies like Ellipse Solutions and Dynamic Web and some of those partners out there. So we're looking forward to seeing all of our friends at Community Summit in just a few weeks.
I know, it's crazy how fast it crept up. I felt like, I've got plenty of time to put my session together. Yeah. I haven't done anything yet. I just downloaded the PowerPoint template. I'm a mess when it comes to being ready at this one, but I will be there and I will be ready. And we're excited to have you on to talk about North Carolina. It was just in our series, we've been trying to hit all the major points. And one of the things I love to do when I'm traveling is to see the city and be able to kind of check, especially when I've got a good amount of extra time. Even if I got like just seconds, I want to try to find something to do in the city. Yep. So we're happy to have a semi-native. You say you've been there 14 years, but that starts to count, right? I think, yeah. I've been in Colorado. I grew up on the East Coast. I've been in Colorado for 20 years now. So I count myself as a Colorado native. So yeah, we're excited to talk about, what we can do when we get to Summit outside of all the exciting education and networking. But when we hit the streets,
well, the first thing I have for everybody to do is when they land, evidently there is a statue. And so I don't fly through Charlotte that often because I'm in Raleigh, Durham, and the airport's just 20 minutes away. But if I fly American, I have to fly through Charlotte because that's a hub of theirs. But there is a statue of Queen Charlotte in the airport somewhere. Nice. And evidently she's moved over the years. So she was outside, now she's inside. I hear that she's in the atrium. I'm not exactly sure, but it would be super fun if folks approached us and told us that they found her.
Yeah.
What I thought was really cool, what I think is really cool about Charlotte is that it is named after a queen. So King Edward III or King George III's wife. It's named after her, and the county that Charlotte is in, which is Mecklenburg County, is also named after her. And they had 15 children. Can you imagine?
No, I've got 2, and that was probably enough. I will say that. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, I have 1. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do 15.
And I think one of the current little kids is named Charlotte, right? They named her probably after that lineage.
Yeah.
Us,
at that many kids, I think you run out of names, and so you have to just start naming them after yourself.
Right. You just start recycling them, right? Yeah. Just pick it back up to the top.
Yeah.
But we already have a Charles, so what?
Right. We have a George. There are plenty of those out there.
Right.
One of the things, I don't know, Bobby, if you're a big fan of craft cocktails, but I am a big fan of craft cocktails. And there is a little speakeasy that's actually the upstairs of a beer pub sports bar type thing, but the upstairs is a craft cocktail, and it's called, well, the downstairs is called Belfast Mill, and then upstairs is the Cotton Room. And it's actually walking distance from the conference, which is super awesome. Nice. And it's in this thing called Brevard Court. Well, Brevard is one of the towns in North Carolina that's up near Asheville. But Brevard Court used to be a cotton mill. So North Carolina is really well known for a lot of its industry. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people might associate North Carolina, especially the Durham and Raleigh areas, with tobacco. Right. And there are lots of old tobacco mills in the Raleigh-Durham area. But all of the rivers brought down lots of textiles.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are dye mills, there are cotton mills, there are fabric mills, all of that kind of stuff all over the state, which I think is super interesting. It makes for quaint little places to go and find new and different things. So yeah, the cotton mill in this little district, walking distance from the conference, and in that area is also there's a lot of shops and things too.
Yeah.
So there's retail, there are other places to eat and drink, which we all love to do. But it's historic. So, you know, cobblestone streets and interesting old buildings. And so that would be my number one place for everybody to go, just because it is so close to where we're going to be. NASCAR also, obviously, you want to go to the NASCAR museum, but I think one of our events is there, isn't it?
Yes.
It is, yeah. We've got the second day, Wednesday. Summit's hosting a 3-hour NASCAR, all kinds of get to tour the museum, get to do interactive stuff. They'll have, I think they've got specialty cocktails and food, so it's going to be a fun event. I'm glad you brought that up, because NASCAR certainly was on my list of things. It's there. We're doing it. I was a huge NASCAR. I don't watch it so much, but man, growing up, I was a huge NASCAR fan. It was like, because when I grew up, we didn't have cable TV. You had TV channels.
Yes.
So you had like 3 channels, and so on Saturday it was whatever sports were on is what I watched. So NASCAR was on, I watched NASCAR. So I grew up watching Richard Petty and Carol Yarborough and all these older race car drivers. And I'm just going to show this real quick, because I'm also a huge record collector. And
cool.
I found this album the other day, which was outrageous to me. I'm going to try to find it here. Hold on. Where did it go? I lost it. Let me see.
Oh,
here.
no.
Chrome tab. Oh, there it is. So here we go. Let's see if you can see this. Is it? Yeah.
NASCAR Goes Country.
NASCAR Goes Country. And it's all the NASCAR stars of the 70s singing various country. I actually haven't played it yet. I'm saving it. I wish I could bring it with me, like with a portable record player. I could set it up in our booth and just play this all day.
That'd be awesome.
It was just so cool looking. I couldn't, it's like I can't not, buy this. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, no,
there is a rich history in North Carolina with car racing, and I've been to the NASCAR museum, and it's even if you're not a fan, it's so cool to see all of those old cars and what they used, like how they raced these old cars that weren't built to race.
These were just regular cars that were built out by somebody, some mechanic or whatever. I gotta feel like it started with like bootlegging, right?
Right.
It's like the lore. It's in my mind, like these guys and gals in North Carolina were bootlegging whiskey and racing in their old cars, and that just turned into a thing, right?
Yeah, we over the pandemic, we actually found an old racetrack in just outside of Durham and Hillsborough, and it's a mile loop around, and it has some of the old race cars. It has the old stands. Nice. The stands were all cement, and so you can run up and down the stands. People actually use that for working out, but it's a dirt racetrack. And so there's this rich history in North Carolina of racing, car racing, especially, and probably bootlegging as well. I haven't read up on that quite as much.
I may have made that up. I just want to say that, but it just feels like it should be the lore. We'll pass it forward. We're going to uplift that lore as we get to North Carolina.
You know what? We'll just make it a lore, right?
Exactly. I'm just gonna. Everybody that comes to our booth, I'm gonna start. Did you hear? Yeah. And then just pass it on. Yeah. Get it going through the expo.
Bring some little canning jars filled with some
moonshine.
Savannah, we can't bring booze probably, but we should bring like some bootleg moonshine. Like they can do a secret knock, and we'll take them behind a curtain at our booth and get them some moonshine.
Why didn't we think of this earlier?
I know. I don't know.
I've got some in my freezer.
Branded, so it's purple tinted moonshine.
Yes, there you go.
I've got some in my freezer I could bring with.
We might need to be working on that.
Because I'm driving, so I can bring as many liquids as I need.
You're right. Yeah, no, I'd have to get it at the shop at the airport. Yeah, the
from Queen Charlotte at the airport.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure they've got moonshine there.
Definitely.
I always do when I go to a city. Like I said, I do two things. I look at the weirdest things to do in the city. That's my favorite thing to look at, because there's always something really strange. Like I was visiting San Francisco, and I found that they had a Pez museum, and it was a Pez museum and museum of banned toys that have been banned because they're so dangerous. And so we went to it, and it was literally the size of like a bedroom. It felt like, and this old lady came out, like just barely able to move with a cane, and she took our tickets and then walked us through the museum. Just a tour like around the room where they had the Pez and like one like glass case and then a glass case of toys. It was just, but it was cool. It was just a fun, out of the way thing that I said I did. So I like to look at that kind of stuff. And I also like to do, especially in downtown areas, is to search. If you just open up Google Maps, I'll just type in like street art in downtown Charlotte.
Yeah.
And then you can find a way, like where your hotel is to where the convention center is. You can take a little bit of a different walking path every day, and either see murals or statues or whatever is out there. So it's one of the fun things I like to do when I hit these different cities. So I've done that for Charlotte, and I'll share those links just so you don't have to do it. You can pop the link in and you'll be able to just.
You've done the work for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the work for you. You just have to do the walking tour. Maybe I'll host a walking tour. It's like, I'll start here and I'll walk you through all the different statues and street art.
Bobby, when you do that, what's interesting, when I was reading up on the history of Charlotte, is that because it's called the Queen City after Charlotte, there's a lot of imagery of crowns throughout the city.
Yep.
That's kind of another scavenger hunt that you could do, throughout the city, is just find all of the different crowns, because I think a lot of the street art also incorporates the crown.
Yeah,
because it is.
I saw a few like that. Like you said, a few that were very specific, like crown. Like there was a sculpture that was kind of like a really avant-garde looking crown.
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, I didn't think about it being the Queen City and that being the reason, but that's exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think everybody's going to have a really good time. And there's a streetcar. I don't know if it's free, or a light rail rather. But it will take you from the convention center to different parts of the city.
Oh yeah.
So there is that option too. So you don't have to necessarily take an Uber or anything like that. I mean, Charlotte is the biggest city in North Carolina. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot to do. I was also looking to see if there's any like events coming up that people might want to stay later for or come early for, but I didn't find anything of major significance. I think that we're going to be pretty busy during the week at sessions and stuff, but
and all the parties, we'll have an episode of our podcast coming up just going over all the experiences and the parties. We've got, they started stacking up. At first it was really slow, but all of a sudden I'm seeing the invites and it's like there's 3 parties on Tuesday. So you're like party hopping. And,
yes, you better be coming to the Influence is sponsoring one with Dynamic Web and Marketing Copilot, and a couple other companies too. And I think that's on Tuesday night.
It is, and we're having Sarah on for our experiences / party episode, nice. And so we'll be talking a lot about the Derby party that you've got going on. And I've already submitted my name for an invite. I'm waiting anxiously for somebody to show up at my door with a gilded, badge or invitation. Exactly.
Oh, the invitations are really special. I cannot wait for everyone. Yeah, it's been super fun planning that, and I can't wait to hear that podcast too, because I need to know all the places to go.
Yeah,
all the party hopping that has.
Like I said, it stacks up. It's crazy. Like I felt like there was, it's like, are there going to be any parties? And then all of a sudden, boom. Yeah, we're starting to fly. So that's again always a fun time to figure those out and kind of piece them together. Like I've done it. In Reno, the first year that I really went to a summit and had this kind of experience, it was like and one night I was at 4 different parties. There was a casino night, and there was a museum, a car museum, and then there was a happy hour, and then it's like, so I was kind of bouncing around from one to the other.
It's crazy.
Enjoying each bit of them. Yeah. Another thing I was just gonna say, I did, like I said, I did some research in Charlotte. A lot of museums right by the convention center. There's a museum of illusions, which looks really cool. We were looking at maybe hosting a party. I was one of those, because like it would be kind of a fun place to host a party.
There's a Museum of Illusions in Kansas City too that I was going to host a party at.
Yeah,
actually, but evidently they're super small.
That was it turns out the party would have been a party of 5. Yeah. So it would have been a small party. It would have been intimate and fun, but it would have been a little small.
Yeah. All that party hopping, people would have been like, oh, peace out.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So aside from all this, I'm speaking, you're speaking. Savannah,
yeah. I don't even know when your sessions are. When are your sessions? Do you know when your sessions are?
I just, based on our own episode 1 advice, I just went through and finished my session planner and got all my sessions put in the planner and downloaded to my calendar. So I do know where they are. They're all on Tuesday. I have 2 sessions on Tuesday. I'm hosting a session about learning. So it's all about just different ways to learn dynamics, as well as just keep yourself informed in the ecosystem. So that's one. And then I've got another session, something that we've done at Ellipse. And so we kind of strip it down for fun. It's called Who Wants to Be a Microsoft Millionaire? And so we have all questions around Microsoft Dynamics products, whether it's CE, which is your specialty, or if it's F&O or Power. We've got, and so a person in the room could win money, not $1 million, but who wants to be 100-aire maybe as better.
Right.
And so I've got those 2 sessions on Tuesday, and you've got some. I'm going to click them on. You can talk about them real quick, but I'm just going to put them at the bottom of our.
Sarah Lyons at Dynamic Web. Both of us are speaking on Wednesday at 9:45. Our party is Tuesday night, so I have to make sure that I get up in time for this one. Well, it's at 9:45. Yes. It's at 9:45 on Wednesday for 5 ways to use data in Dynamics 365 CE and CRM, Power Apps for marketing. So data for marketing. What do you want to know?
Yeah.
Super excited about that because, marketers are data experts now, aren't we?
Yeah. I mean, citizen development, citizen access is amazing where it's going. And when you get, even more information with Power Apps in a person's hands, that's great.
Yeah. We're stoked about that one. And then on Friday, I got the last time slot of the day. So, or of the entire event. So I'm convinced there are going to be 5 people there. So everybody surprise me and come to my last one of the entire conference at 11 o'clock on Friday. It's defining your customer journey with Dynamics CE. So super excited. That's one of the things that we really promote on our SaaS side of the business, but we also have an agency. Influence has an agency side of the business. So we encourage our customers to make sure that the data is flowing between their CRM and their marketing automation platform so they can really customize these journeys for people and understand where people are in their buying process so that they can hit them with the right content at the right time. But also understand, hey, if they're in the awareness phase of the journey, you don't want them immediately to go into, hey, come get a demo with us. You want to, it's the dating period. You're not ready quite for an engagement. So why don't you nurture that relationship a little bit more rather than jumping right into a wedding by Elvis in Las Vegas.
I love it. Yeah, you're right about that. There's a perfect waiting period to, getting a lead or a prospect and then knowing how to engage. That's great. It sounds like 2 great sessions. And I know there's a fellow named Frank Vukovic who's in the channel, who when he has one of these sessions, most times they're at the end of a day, so he'll bring beer. I don't think you bring beer for midday, but maybe airplane snacks or something for anybody that shows up. You get free.
That's actually a really good idea. Yes, here airplane approved snacks.
Airplane approved snacks. So that you've got something to take away. Yeah,
definitely.
Well, Savannah, any parting words for us? I think we've covered a lot, and I think we appreciate Monica being here.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, all the advice. I'll make sure to try to look out for all those crowns in the city and everything like that. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Monica.
Yeah.
And everyone, make sure to check out her sessions that she's mentioned and her derby party. I know I'm excited for that as well. So yeah, it'll be great. So awesome. Thanks everyone for joining us. We can't wait to chat with you again.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.